Hey guys, so today, real quick, we are just going to write ourselves some notes that came from the reading that we did yesterday. So, it's going to be titled, What Drives Climate? And we're going to do it as more of like a graphic organizer today than just bullet point notes. So if you would open your notebook to just the next open page in your book. And actually, we are going to use your notebook this way today. So instead of up and down, we're going to use it side to side. And we're gonna make ourselves one box and 4 little bubbles. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of lay those out for myself first. So here's gonna be my title box. Oops, did not connect the lines there, it's okay. We're gonna have one bubble over here. We're gonna have one big bubble, bottom left. A medium-sized bubble, the top right, and then another bubble right here. And here's how they're all going to connect. We're going to draw an arrow this way. And then 2 arrows coming off of our big bubble. So, here's how we're going to start. This is our title box. So our title is What Drives Climate? Question mark. Well, from our reading yesterday, we should know that what drives climate at the very beginning is the sun. Then here's our big bubble, and we're going to answer, that's great, the sun drives the climate, but how? I've pre-written this part, so let me zoom in on it for you. I will read it once, and then you're going to need to pause the video to make sure that you get it all down. So, we know that the sun heats the ground. That's the big part that we need to remember. The sun does not heat the atmosphere. The sun heats the ground. The heat rises from the ground and then warms the air. The warm air rises. The further the air gets from the ground, it starts to cool. Cold air sinks back toward the ground. The ground warms it again and repeats the process. So remember, it's how a lava lamp works. But what we're looking at here is air in the atmosphere. So go ahead and pause the video right now and make sure you get these notes down. Then we are going to move up to your top right. And here's where we're going to start. Let's cover it up. First, we need to title it Convection Currents. That hot air or hot water or hot magma rising and then the cold sinking is where we get our convection currents from. Here on Earth, they happen in 3 places. The first one is the atmosphere. This is where most of our climate comes from. The second one is the ocean, which also helps with our climate. And then the third place is the mantle, and this has to do with plate tectonics, which we're going to do a unit about later. So remember, we're going to draw ourselves this little graphic for convection currents. So H here is going to stand for hot. So the hot material, whichever one it is, rises. Then as it gets away from the heat source, it's going to cool at the top. Your material is going to condense or become more dense, and you are going to sink. Then it's going to heat up. It's going to become less dense and rise. Then it's going to dense again, or condense, that's where the word comes from. It's going to sink, and then it keeps going and going and going, and that is where we get our convection currents. Then our bottom right bubble on our graphic organizer is going to talk about hurricanes. So remember, hurricanes use warm, moist air as fuel. This is why they form over warm ocean waters near the equator. This is a big idea that we're going to need to remember. Go ahead and pause the video, get this written down. I'm going to zoom out. This is what your graphic organizer should look like.